Welcome in everyone, XL804. I hope you're having a good day or night depending on where you are in the world. I've been playing the DMZ mode, and instead of doing a giant video on some of the feedback I want to give, I decided to break it up into a series of shorter videos. That way it's not like one long info dump on you. So with that being said, today I want to talk about the contracts that are in the DMZ mode. There are a lot of options, which is good, and they're unique enough to feel like they aren't copies of each other. But that's not really my issue with the contracts. My issue is that if a player is not on a mission, and if you have a lot of money, there isn't like a large incentive to really continue doing contracts at that point. Because if you have money and you're not on a mission, it's just like, you're just kind of wasting your time. I mean, I guess it's something to do, but like, it's still not great. I like the way it is in Warzone, where like if you want to do a recon mission, like no matter how much money you have, there's always a secondary reason to do recon, and that is to see where the circle's closing. And I feel like the DMZ kind of needs more of that. I think it would be better if the missions had more impact. And what we'll do here is in a minute or so, we're going to kind of go into detail on what that means. Because I like how, and I'll give you an example, the prisoner rescue mission. In that mission in DMZ, you can go save the hostage, and you can load them up onto a helicopter, and at that point, you can leave on that helicopter. And what makes that really good is that if you don't want to go to one of the main distractions because you're worried that other players might be there, well, only one person can accept that specific prisoner rescue mission and leave on that helicopter. So if you take it, then you're going to a spot that's not marked on the map, and you can just get out without worrying about running into other players. And that's kind of what I want to see more of with these other contracts. So now we'll go ahead and dive into that. So, for example, like the raid stash contract, which is the mission where you go into a building, you have to crack open the safe. So you put your little payday drill on there, and it's drilling it open. You're supposed to defend the safe until the until it cracks open. So you just shoot the AI or maybe even players that they show up. But once it's over, the safe opens up. There's like 4 blocks inside of it. There's like some cash, but there's nothing too crazy. But if you're raiding a stash, maybe it should give you the option to gunsmith a weapon. You're like raiding a stash of weapons. So either maybe they give you like a list of guns to choose from, which I think that's kind of not what I want. I think it'd be better if you could gunsmith a contraband gun that you picked up. So if you spawned in with like a sniper and you killed someone and took like their RPK, you go do that mission. Now you finished it, or the contract rather. If you finish that contract, now you can gunsmith that RPK, and you can put a scope on it, maybe a bigger mag, just a few attachments. I don't know if it should be all 5 or not. I'd love to hear what you guys think, if it should be like 2 to 3 or if it should just be the full 5. I think I'd be okay either way. But anyway, I think that'd be really good, because if players are having issues getting out with their insured guns, then there'd be more incentive to come do this mission. That way you can get your hands on something better versus using like one of the contraband options that might be sitting in your stash from a mission, or using a gun off the ground from like a random ad. Being able to go in there and kind of trick your weapon out just a little bit to your preference, I think that'd be a big bonus reason to do that mission outside of just getting the cash. And I think that it would give something, it would be another thing for players to fight over in the DMZ mode. Because right now it's just the Juggernaut and the Chemist, and once people get the M13, they're not going to go to the Chemist like that anymore, because there's really no reason to. And the same thing can be said about the Juggernaut. He's not necessarily hard to kill, but like, what's the point? I mean, I guess if you want people to chase you, you pick up the weapon case, but that's kind of a rare breed, or a specific breed. So I think creating another small hotspot on the map for players to fight over would be really good. And I think people would definitely be willing to fight each other if it meant getting one of their custom guns, or maybe being able to customize a gun and having like a backup in the stash for when they get out. So yeah, another example would be like the cargo ship mission, where you're like riding on the boat and you're going down the river, the helicopter shooting at you, and you meet up at the rendezvous spot with the airplane. It snatches the cargo off the top of the boat, and at that point you're done with the mission, and that's kind of it. You're just done. You did the mission, you got some cash, but I mean, like, what if instead of just getting the cash, what if it worked like a prisoner rescue, to where a extract option opens up on the map? Now, it doesn't have to be a timed one. It could just be a special shoreline extract. And what would it be? Maybe just be like a boat. You run up to the extract, you send up the flare, a guy comes riding in on the boat, you guys get on the boat, and you just leave. And you can take that extract anytime you want, but your team is the only one can see it because you're the one that completed that mission. And it would kind of be the same thing with the prisoner one, where like now you have another way you can leave the map. And I'm not saying everything needs to have an extract per se, like the prisoner. It could just be those two missions, but it's just the idea that if you're doing a mission, there's a secondary feature. So like if you ever have too much money, it doesn't matter. You want to get this done so you can just leave if you need to. Like if you want to go to that part of the map, you can get that mission done, and then you can take that special extract that's right next to it. So it's kind of like convenience. It has a little more impact on your gameplay, and it gives you a reason to do it outside of just cash. And then we'll just do one more. I don't want to sit here and do these, I could do this all day, but I'll just do one more. Let's look at the data intel missions. So right now, you go pick up the contract, you have to go find the laptop. Once you find the laptop, you have to go to like a radio tower, and you have to sit up in the radio tower for like a minute or two. And when it's done, the game tells you where a juggernaut is, assuming it's alive, or a commander, which is like an attack helicopter, which I think it calls it in. I'm not sure if this is always there. But anyway, I mean, that's pretty much it. And if you don't want to chase the weapons case and you don't want to fight a helicopter, all you got was money for it. But, what if they change it up a little bit? What if they made it to where once you did the data intel, since it's called a data intel mission, what if it like lit the map up with like, not lit the map up, but like what if it turned the contracts on the map red? So usually when someone does it, it disappears. But what if it reappears and it's red? That way you can say, oh, a person is in this area. Maybe if I want to look for PvP, I can go to that area and try to find that person. Or if you're trying to leave, you could do the data intel mission if it's right there, and you need to go towards an extract. You could kind of tell that there's players in that area, and it could also tell you how many people are left in the lobby, which I think that would be cool too. It's not exactly the greatest, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Like, you're getting more bang for your buck when you do these contracts. It gives you something to do, even if you have no missions left and you have all the money. You still have, it's something for you to do to kind of get info, and just kind of helps you create a story when you jump into DMZ mode and play. Alright, so I'm going to stop there for now because I could really go through all of them if I had the time. But if you want to see me do the rest, please just drop a like and a comment and let me know. I also want to hear back from you on what you'd like to see added, what you'd like to tweak on some of my ideas. Just please, anything and everything in the comments. Thanks for making it to the end of the video, and have a good one. Peace.